this witch child away from me!
The day Chimere was born, the entire delivery room went quiet. The nurse held the baby up and stared. Something about the child was different. One eye was brown, the other was blue, and right in the center of her dark hair was a streak of pure white strands. The nurse looked at the mother nervously, but the mother only smiled weakly and stretched out her arms. "My baby," she whispered. Just then, the door opened. Her husband, Mr. Chukwuma, walked in from his mechanic workshop still smelling of engine oil. He was eager. "Is it finally a boy?" The nurse hesitated. "No, sir, it's a girl." His smile vanished from his face. Another girl? But when he looked at the baby's unusual eyes and white hair, his expression hardened even more. What kind of child is this? The room went silent. "People will start asking questions," he snapped angrily. "That is not a normal child." His wife burst into tears, but he turned away coldly. "Take that child away from my sight. I already have 6 daughters, and now this witch child?" Then he walked out, just like that. The baby had been rejected before she even left the hospital, but her mother held her tightly and whispered softly through tears, "You are not a curse. I will call you Chimere Maya. God did this for me." Because she believed something strongly, a child sent by God cannot be a mistake. Chimere grew up in a house where she was invisible. Her father barely spoke to her. Even when she was sick, he didn't ask about her. Instead, he constantly pressured his wife, "Give me a son." 3 years later, his wish finally came true. When the baby boy was born, Mr. Chukwuma ran all the way from his mechanic workshop to the community hospital. He carried the newborn proudly. "My son!" he shouted with excitement. He named him Chukwuemeka. God has done great things. From that moment, everything changed. The boy became the pride of the family, and Chimere became the child everyone blamed. As Emeka grew older, his behavior became worse. He was clever but cruel, especially toward Chimere. One day, he secretly stole money from his father's trousers. When Chimere caught him, he quickly shoved the money into her hands and screamed, "Daddy, Chimere stole your money." The beating that followed was brutal. Another time, he smashed plates in the kitchen. Again, he blamed Chimere. Again, she was beaten. And when she cried quietly in the corner, Emeka would lean close and whisper, "Witch." At school, things went better. Children mocked her strange eyes. Some refused to sit beside her. But Chimere had one safe place. Every Sunday, church. There she sang in the children's choir and listened to stories from the Bible. Stories about people who suffered first before their breakthrough came. And every Sunday she prayed the same prayer. "God, please don't forget me." By the age of 14, Chimere finished secondary school, faster than any of her sisters. But in her father's house, education meant nothing for girls. One by one, her sisters were married off, some at 15, some at 16, to men 25 or even 30 years older, men who already had other wives. Only one sister escaped that fate, Chinenye. She ran away with her boyfriend after getting pregnant, but that only brought more shame to the family. Still, Chimere made a silent promise. "I will finish school. I will change our lives." But she didn't know. Her father had already made a decision that would change everything. One evening, Chimere returned from jam lessons she could only afford by selling plastic bottles and scrap. As she entered the house, she noticed strangers sitting in the living room. Curious, she quietly stood behind the door and listened. Then her heart stopped. They were discussing her marriage. The man who wanted to marry her was wealthy, But everyone in the community feared him because all 5 of his wives had died mysteriously. But Chimere's father didn't care. The man had offered 1 million naira, and to Mr. Chukwuma, that was worth more than her daughter's life. That night, Chimere packed a small bag, took the 10,000 naira she had saved, and ran. She didn't look back. She ran all the way to the bus park and boarded the first bus leaving the city. She had no plan, no destination, only one thought. Anything was better than the life she was escaping. But she had no idea the life waiting ahead would be even more unbelievable.